Today we will be looking at SOHCAHTOA and how we can utilize it to find side lengths of a right-angled triangle. Firstly, if we look at this, we'll see that we have an angle, we have an opposite, we have a unknown opposite, we have an unknown opposite, so question mark, and our hypotenuse is also not given to us, and we have them. Therefore, it means we have too little information to do this. We will need to look now at cosine. So cosine of theta equals adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. Again, look at it here. Okay, we got an angle, we got an adjacent. Again, we do not have enough information about this. Now, let us look at the tan. So tan of theta equals opposite divided by adjacent. The opposite is the opposite length of the opposite side of that and of an angle. So here the opposite side is this right here, our length, which we still do not know. We do not know this. However, we do know the adjacent. We have the angle given, we have the adjacent given, and we're just trying to find this. So therefore we can rearrange this equation to find our other adjacent. So let us start. So we have tan of 60 equals, now the opposite is x, which we do not know, divided by the adjacent, which we do know, which is 13. We're going to times both sides by 13 to give us that x is equal to 13 tan of 60. Now, just plug this into a calculator and you will get your final answer of x equals to 22.52 rounded. SOHCAHTOA, since it works with angles, adjacents, and hypotenuse, can be used to find any missing information of a right angle triangle. And the key point is that SOHCAHTOA only works with right angle triangles. You cannot use it with any other type of triangle. So let's solve this question here. It says, so we have adjacent given and we have another adjacent given. So let's see what we can do here. So let's look at SOHCAHTOA and find where we can utilize the two adjacents to find our angle. Here we can't because we have an opposite, but we don't have a hypotenuse, so we cannot do this. Here we have an adjacent and a hypotenuse. We have an adjacent, we don't have the hypotenuse. Here we have an opposite, we do have the opposite, and we have an adjacent, we again have the adjacent. So we can use tan to figure this question, to figure the angle out. So let's write it. Tan of x, we do not know x in this case, is equal to 50, which is the opposite, divided by 60. Alright. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the inverse tan. When you take the inverse tan, when you take the inverse of something, you cancel it out. So if you would have sine of x and you'd want to get rid of that sine to just get the x on its own, you would do the sine inverse of x. So in this case, we inverse tan both sides. These tans cancel out and this x remains on its own, but the other tan inverse remains. So x is equal to 39.81 degrees rounded. That's all for SOHCAHTOA. Hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in a new lesson. Goodbye.